It's Thursday evening. This is James Spann. Thought we'd spend a few minutes looking at the thunderstorms that are currently in progress over northeast Alabama. We've had them for several hours now, producing hail and strong winds in scattered parts of North Alabama. And understand, for some people, it's not raining at all. For others, it's been a windy evening with strong storms and hail. So let's take a look at the current radar, and we'll kind of go through the warnings we have in effect. And let me just say up front, we expect no tornado activity. No tornado activity tonight. The upper wear wind profiles don't favor that. These are high-based storms. The LCLs are very high, the lifted condensation levels, and you don't have tornadoes from high-based storms, and the wind profiles don't favor tornadoes anyway. That's the good news. But they're still packing a punch, and I would suggest at the moment the strongest storm on radar in terms of hail-producing storms is this one that is located along U.S. Highway 11 and Interstate 59 between Asheville and right up towards Steele and Rainbow City. And this has prompted the Weather Service to issue severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for parts of St. Clair, Etowah, northern Calhoun, southern Cherokee, and northern Cleburne counties. And remember, the storms are moving to the southeast today, from northwest to southeast. And with these storms, the main concern, it is from hail and strong straight-line winds. There's a look at the bigger view, and you can see the storms in a broken band coming down through North Alabama. And understand, for some people, not a drop of rain this evening. For others, it's been a pretty rough ride with hail and strong winds. And the intensities will gradually die down over the next few hours. Now that the sun is about to come down, the air becomes more stable and the storm should weaken. But again, for now, we have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for parts of eastern Cullman. And really, the storm is out of Cullman County, so we can pretty much take Cullman County out of this. But severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for parts of Blount, St. Clair, Etowah, northern Calhoun, northern Cleburne, and southern Cherokee counties. And to understand on a night like this is kind of tricky because most of the hail reports have been small. And remember, to be severe, you've got to have 1-inch diameter hail. That's the criteria. And that's a quarter size, the size of a coin, a quarter. So for the small hail, dime size, pea size, that's not severe. It might be to you, but in terms of official definition, it's not. And the other way a storm can be severe, it's 58-mile-per-hour winds or greater. And these storms have had a history of kind of peaking in intensity, and then they weaken pretty quickly. But during that peak, they can produce hail up to 1 inch in diameter. And we've seen some of that tonight. And again, as we speak here live at 7:39, most likely the largest hail is right along Interstate 59 between Rainbow City and Asheville, near the St. Clair Etowah County line. And it's coming off Chandler Mountain. That'll be coming down toward U.S. Highway 411. And within that, you could see hail up to 1 inch in diameter, along with pretty strong winds. And that's the reason for these warnings. And again, there will be no tornado warnings tonight, just severe thunderstorm warnings. And considering the time of day here, we're approaching 8 o'clock and the sun going down, these storms should be weakening over the next few hours. But quickly, just some images from you. And this is a great shot. Somebody's out there fishing, and then somebody in the boat is time-lapsing the thunderstorms. And that's a classic case of a TCU, towering cumulus cloud. And, of course, many of these did grow into storms, and because the air aloft is very cold and the lapse rates are very steep, we've had some hail in many places. And, again, this is an example of what people have been dealing with. And, again, I know for a lot of you, you've had not a drop of rain, and you're thinking, what's the deal? Well, we've talked about that for days. This will be scattered in nature. But, again, underneath those heavier storms, that's been the main issue, hail. Falling across North Alabama. And in some cases, the hailstones are pretty big. I want to say this was taken up at Albertville, up on Sand Mountain. And we did see some strong winds, especially coming into the shoals. You know, they took a beating with a couple of tornadoes up there not that long ago, and they've had a lot of trees blown down in parts of Colbert and Lauderdale counties. And, of course, the you-know-what, it's been in flight tonight, the Alabama State bird. But, again, a lot of hail and strong winds and scattered pockets across North Alabama tonight. So let's go back to the radar here. It's 7:41. I'm not going to stay long, and I say this all the time. We don't come on here just to yak away and hear our lips flapping. We have no tornado warnings, in effect, and we don't expect any. But just thought I'd kind of address the ongoing situation here since I had just a second to things have calmed down slightly. And again, for those that don't know, my main job, I do old school television in addition to social media. And a lot of times the TV, radio, traditional duties kind of get me all tied up here. But I thought I'd just come on here for a second. So let's look at the bigger picture. And again, we've got thunder and lightning and maybe some small hail over here in parts of northwest Alabama, Marion, Lamar, Fayette counties. And there could be some small hail over here, but really with this, we're just not seeing any evidence of the larger hail. And again, to be severe, you need 1 inch in diameter or larger. And if this holds together, that could wind up in the Birmingham metro down here sometime around 8:30. But again, for the moment, what you're seeing over here in northwest Alabama is not severe by classic definition. Yes, I know you've got loud thunder, creepy clouds. There could be some small hail. But again, if you're in Guin, Winfield, Hamilton, Brilliant, Vernon, Sulligent, yes, the weather's not good, but it's not severe. And again, this could, if it stays together, move into the Birmingham metro about 8:15, 8:30 tonight. The heavier storms are over here with the potential for larger hail. And again, obviously, what you've got right here from downtown Gadsden, right down Highway 411 to Rainbow City and Asheville, that is moving in the direction of northern Calhoun. That'll be crossing over, coming through Southside, and then crossing over into Calhoun. That'll be affecting places like Ragland, Alexandria, Wellington, Pleasant Valley, with a chance of some large hail if it holds together. And I will say these have had a history of they peak in intensity and then they weaken. And what you see over here along U.S. Highway 278, Hoax Bluff, Piedmont, over to Spring Garden, that's there could be some small hail, but again, that's not severe. Just some good rains, thunder, lightning. But again, no evidence of any severe criteria at that point. So, and again, that's continues to weaken there. So, again, right there, we might have some 1 inch diameter hail, and that's about to cross over into northern Calhoun County here. So that's the situation there. If you're in the Tennessee Valley, I would suggest that the risk of severe storms is pretty much ended over the Tennessee Valley. Florence, Sheffield, Tuscumbia, Muscle Shoals, Athens, Decatur, Huntsville, Scottsboro. I think we can say you're done with it. In terms of the chance of additional hail or strong winds, the better chance of that is along and south of US 278 for the next hour or so. That's south of a line from Hamilton to Cullman to Gadsden. And again, the storm should slowly weaken now that the sun is getting down, and I think by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, all this should be below severe limits, and we'll be done with it. And again, if you're just joining us, we have no tornado warnings. I know often when you see me live like this, we are on the air because we have active tornado warnings in effect, and we do not have any tornado warnings. We have severe thunderstorm warnings, and the main issue, again, has been hail and strong winds. Heaviest storm of all is this one that's from Gadsden right down Highway 411, US 411, to Rainbow City and Asheville. That'll be coming into the Shoal Creek Valley, Ragland, and then crossing over into Calhoun County, around Ohatchee, and then ultimately coming down toward Alexandria, Wellington, and Weaver, and it might make it down to Anniston. But notice on the volume scan, it's weakening. And again, I think that's going to be the case. And I would suggest most likely that storm should be below severe limits pretty soon. But still, we have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for northeastern St. Clair, southern Etowah, northern Calhoun, northern Cleburne, if this thing holds together. So again, that's going to wrap it up here. I hate to keep it short, but I've got to keep it short tonight. There's so many things we have to do on the other side here, but just watch my social feeds, Facebook and Instagram, and you'll see a lot of images. And thank you to everybody that has taken the time to send in images this evening. I can't post them all and share them all and use them all, but they are all seen and really appreciated. It's our window to the world. It's a marvelous way for us to get confirmation of what's happening down at ground level and provide some ground truth. So thank you to everybody who's taken the time to send in images and photos. Next video briefing here will be early tomorrow morning, about 5:15. And by the way, the news is great for the weekend. I mean, it looks great. For the first time in how long? No storms. Goodness, we've dealt with thunderstorms on weekends, especially Sundays, for a long time here. So it's going to be nice to have a nice quiet weekend. And the good news, next week is looking relatively quiet. So again, we'll take a break here. We'll see y'all early tomorrow morning, and watch my social media feeds on Instagram and Facebook for additional images that you send. Thank you all. Have a great evening, and God bless.